Hey Kit Kats, how you doing? Just about to start. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just getting set up and then we'll get going. Okay, let's get cooking. Right, so welcome Kit Kats. You feeling sore? First weekend out in a month, an indie wrestling show, then a St. Paddy's pub gig. Wow, that sounds like a lot all rolled into 1 week or one weekend. So a bit of wrestling. Oh, didn't realise you did wrestling. That's amazing. Fantastic. And yeah, the recovery from I didn't realise it was St Patrick's. I should know because I've got family over in Ireland. But yeah, there we go. So let's make a start. So welcome. I'm not sure if we have any others with us. We've got about 5 people watching. So welcome to everyone. If you're new here, let me just turn that music down a little bit. So if you're new here, essentially what I do is I try and do it, if not daily, every other day, streaming of my sketchbook, as you can see here. It's generally kind of like pen and ink, and I occasionally, as I'm going to do tonight, I do some watercolouring. And what I usually do is I'll sketch something out and do pen and ink, or I'll watercolour as well if I've got time. So I'm going to go straight in with the watercolouring tonight. I can go through all of this. If you can't stick around till the end, then the video will be uploaded and you can go and check it out afterwards. But if you do like the content, of course, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, of course. So I thought I've been doing a lot of, I'm not sure if you've been catching my shorts, but let me just lift that up to the camera. So I've been doing, these ones, the regulars will have seen. We've got this kind of like H.P. Lovecraft kind of, I don't know, fever dream nightmare. Some guy gets up in the middle of the night. We've got this gentle giant here. I'm quite influenced by artists like Mobius and also like 19th century line art, ink drawings, lithographs. I love all that stuff, and it definitely it's influenced me over the years. Now, I did this actually upside down accidentally. This one I did the other day, sort of mech character. It's supposed to be like a World War One sort of alternate universe mech character, as you can see there. And then this one turned out really well. I've been putting stuff onto TikTok. If you are not on TikTok, definitely follow me on TikTok. I've been getting quite a few views, mainly like YouTube and TikTok. Loads of views, loads of lovely comments. And so be sure to catch those. I do try and like do sketches daily for those. And then beyond that, these are the ones I've just literally just done. I did this one last night, just doing faces really. This was on Sunday evening. And then these ones I did this morning. I love doing faces, and I think they turned out rather well. Just sort of sketching, no particular ideas. So tonight though, I thought I'd go back in time to one of the previous illustrations, these ones. I never did get round to giving them a watercolour, so I thought, you know what, we're going to be doing this for about an hour or so. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try and sort of paint this in. I've already got an idea. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see if I can just zoom in, just so I can get it full page. Somehow I'm going to have to kind of maneuver. I'll probably have to move that over there. Move that sort of into place like so. So just so you can see the entire thing, and we'll get going. I think that's covering it about there. There we go. So I've got some ideas. It's kind of like medieval fantasy. Before I get going, I think I could see a few more comments. Kemulderman, hi Kemulderman, or Kemalderman, 5254. Whoa, back to you. I'm saying hi back to you. W, well, that's high praise indeed. Thank you so much. I'm glad it's a win. It looks so sick. Thank you so much. Lovely comments. Well, you see, comments like that inspire me as well. So hopefully I'm inspiring you. You inspire me, and you make me want to do it more. So it's absolutely lovely. And so far, everyone, since I've been doing these streams, probably like for the last month now, I think something like that, everyone's been super lovely. Just brilliant people. Got regulars like Kit Kats and others like Dan, and there's James, to name a few. Beautiful people, lovely people, great comments, and of course, this is what makes me want to do it more. So what I'm doing at the moment, I'm just doing this slightly off camera. I am just putting, see there, I'm just going to start putting the paints in there. Maybe I can just put it on there just so you can see what I'm doing. These are watercolor paints. It's intended to be like just a wash over them, so it's nothing really heavy. It's just mainly like a wash to go over it. I've got an idea about this character. It's going to be sort of orangey metal, something like that. And what I'm doing is I'm just putting some like what they call primary colors in here, and they're intended to be just like a little wash over the top with these things here. So that's what I'm doing, getting it all loaded up. And then this is, I guess this is the sort of the Bob Ross. Mind you, I can only dream of being like Bob Ross, but Bob Ross part of the show where I'm just doing, oh, I need some white in there, don't I? Showing all the paints I'm going to be using. Some white as well. I think that's mainly all of them. We've got the black, white, blue, yellow. I haven't got any red actually, have we? Let's get some red in there. I've got a whole host of other colours, but let's put that in there as well. It's probably going to turn to a bit of a mess here. Anyway, right, so this is the plan, Stan. We're going to start, I'm going to move that over to one side. I'm going to start basically painting in. I want this to be fairly light. So the thing with watercolours is, it's best to kind of go in light with it really, not too sort of heavy. So I'm looking at starting with this one. In fact, I think I do have an orange. I'm going to bring a bit of orange in here as well. Get a bit of that in there. So it's going to have a kind of like orangey type of, I'm not sure what this is. It's kind of like a medieval funny hat of some description, but at the same time it's not medieval because it's meant to be some kind of alternate universe type thing. So the idea is to lay this in, but don't lay it in too heavy, because I want to save my line work. So I'm just putting that at the moment. I can continue like working into it, but I'm just, for the minute, I'm just blocking, effectively what they call blocking the M. So I'm just going to start on the face as well and get a bit of yellow in there. Projects PX6XN. Wow, that's amazing. Nice work. Thank you so much. That's a lovely comment. Again, beautiful people, lovely comments. I get nothing but lovely comments on here. I think it's testament to humanity, isn't it? How lovely people are. You can easily think that, not that I do, but you know, that you see what's going on in the world, you think, oh, it's awful, and actually it's full of beautiful people. I am going a bit Bob Ross, aren't I? Right, so I'm just doing in the face here, and I could probably just zoom in. Shall I zoom in? No, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to fiddle. I'm just going to. So the trick is with watercolors, when you're going over inks, is not to over ink, or to use an old expression, don't over egg the pudding. You may not have heard that before. It's an old expression. Don't over egg the pudding. And I'm not going to over egg the pudding. I'm making myself hungry now. Just so I can have, so this will dry a lot less opaque. And just doing it in the cheeks and stuff. But what why I love doing this, because I've not had a chance to do much watercolouring, it's just mainly been doing inks, is James, one of the regular viewers on here, he said it best. He said, because he loved all the, the pen and ink stuff, black and white stuff, but he said it really popped. And I think this is the crucial bit. It pops out of the page. Hopefully this is going to pop out the page. But and it's got that like old like children's book illustration kind of eye, because they used to lot back in the day. If you go back to the 1900s, this is like 1890s up until even like the 1920s. A lot of illustrators used to do this technique where, even though you have photography, a lot of it was pen and ink and watercolor, and they use other things, but those tended to be the things for the day. Hey, Marek. Hey, excellent to see you again. Hi, back to you. Lovely to see you again. You saw me in the last stream. Of course, remember it. Of course. Gorgeous. Thank you, Marek. Fantastic. Thank you so much. So we're just, we're just basically just slowly inking into this. I've got ideas about how this is going to go. It's going to be sort of like kind of weird medieval, but slightly bright colours, and some metal and stuff, armour and all that jazz. So this is the idea anyway. We'll see how we get on. But I thought I'd go straight in with that, because I've not done much. I've not done much watercolouring for a while actually. So I'm keen on just going back over some of my other work and paying a bit of attention to it, because I think it benefits from it. So again, just working in a bit of blue with this. So this is meant to be kind of like polished steel. And if you ever notice, like with polished steel, it does have like a slight bluish tinge. But thank you so much for the lovely comments, Marex. Great to have you. Great to have everyone. Lovely. Really nice. Okay. Something like that. I'm aiming at this for being, so we just got started just after 6. So I'm aiming at this just being about, say, an hour, because I'm sure, depending on where you're watching this, viewers in the UK, basically it's tea time, isn't it? So you might be getting a bit hungry. If you're watching in the States, it might, I don't know, actually, it might, well, I know if you're watching in Australia, it's going to be very early in the morning. I think in the States it might be mid-morning. I don't know. I might be slightly off with that, but so you've got all these time differences. I do get messaged by people from different parts of the world sometimes, and Australia was the last one. And they were wanted to catch the streams, but I think I'm streaming like in the wee small, so they're like in bed at the moment. So I know how funny it could be. I used to teach over in Thailand, so they were like 7 hours behind. So when I was talking to family back home, it's quite made things quite difficult. All right, that's not looking too bad actually. That quite happy with that. Happy with that. Now, just going to have a look on the other side now. But yeah, this is the trick. I don't want to go in heavy with watercolors in general. Like I've used oil paints before. I might at the end of the stream I might show you an oil painting that I've had on the go since last year, and I've still not finished it. But it's a very sort of different approach, and it's not particularly with oil paints as well. You can't really live stream it, but with watercolors you can get very quick results with it. I think this is probably why a lot of illustrators back in the day, you could go back even before I was born, used to use them a lot. Right, so we do a bit below here. So again, I think this is going to be part of his garment here. I'm not sure what type of garment it is. It could be like a top, and then maybe a darker a ready orange underneath, perhaps, or maybe a bit dark. I don't know. Something like that. Okay. And then with so this bit here is like a Cooper's cat. It's like an adapted Cooper's cat. So this character here is supposed to be like a sort of medieval Ghostbuster. So this is going to be like a Cooper's cask. So it's probably going to have, like I say, kind of, it's going to be like brown. And this is how they used to, they still do it. You still get Coopers. But they'd steam the wood, wouldn't they? They'd steam it to bend it. They'd cut it, steam it, bend it. And then they'd use their craftsmanship to then put all these kind of like bracket, well, they put rings around it. It's fascinating. You'll probably find something on YouTube how they're going to make them, but extremely talented. But of course today it's mainly metal, isn't it? Okay, so just doing this bracket here. So I'm just using a bit of my black. And again, I'm just trying to tread lightly with this. I don't want it to overwhelm. This, I think, is what I've been trying to aim for. The last time I did it with the character who's been dragged into a book, I was quite happy with that. But I found I was starting to apply it a little bit like oil paint. Marek saying hi back to you again, or you might be saying hi to someone else, Marek, so forgive me. Right. Now with this as well, I want to add, just looking at this, I want to add just a suggestion of rust on the armour. But not too much. And and a bit there as well. But this is going exactly how I want it to go. This is exactly, before I started the stream, I thought, that's how I want it to go. And this is exactly how I want it to go. So I'm a happy camper at the moment, because I want all that hard work I did with the penwork to kind of come through. And then on the I guess this is kind of like, it's not chainmail, it's more like sort of fish scales, but like, you know, these would be like separate bits of, I guess, metal discs all stitched together, or however they put them together anyway. It's a bit there. And over here, Marek, how are you so focused? Well, again, a nice compliment. I've been doing this all my life. That's number one. So I don't have that much difficulty in talking and painting. Also, I teach. So I do, you know, I teach at Coventry University. So I, when I'm doing, well, mainly to be fair, when I'm doing like digital stuff, whether it's like stuff in Blender, I have to kind of talk through it. So talk and create, which can be tricky. And there are parts of this where it can be a bit tricky, and I have to just break comms, particularly if it's like, if I've got a bit of a sort of tricky part of the draw, you know, when I'm drawing or painting. But generally speaking, I can do it. But again, a very nice comment. Thank you very much. But that's generally how I do it. And also, Marek, it's just the love of the craft. Just love doing it. Love drawing. Love paint. If I had my way, I'd be doing this all day. Don't get me wrong. I love teaching, but I could easily just draw and paint all day. That'd be my yeah. That'd be my idea of heaven, really. Let me think about this. So this contraption here was supposed to be almost like a bellows for like like a blacksmith. So I'm going to think about, see, it probably would be wood. It'd be a combination of wood and leather, wouldn't it? Which again would be brown. So maybe a darker brown, maybe. But for anyone tuning in, if you like this content, there's lots more. I've got other videos from previous live streams, so you can go and check them out. So if you like it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It'd be great to see you in one of the live streams. People tend to kind of dip in and out. Hi again, Marek. Yes, hi again. Yes, it's good that you're sticking with me. Good. You can encourage me. You see, you can sort of say, just keep going, keep going. Well, that's what you're doing already. Keeps me going with it. Right, and then with that thing there, and what was I saying anyway? I was just about to say something. Oh yes, for people who are just tuning in, very often it's like you can't stay the entire time, which is totally understandable, because you know I'm the same. I'll come across someone's live stream, and I'll go, "That's really cool. I like that," but I might be doing something else. I might be on my way out, but I'll surely, if I like it, I'll subscribe. And if the live stream is on, because I tend to watch a lot of YouTube. I don't really watch TV anymore, so a lot of YouTube. Oh, banging the camera, and I'll watch it later. Okay, so we're not doing too badly so far. At this rate, depending how far we get, it's obviously, if I were to say stop around about 7ish, 7:10, I could potentially get the other the female character on the other side done. But I am really, without being too self-satisfied, I am really, really happy how this turned out. It's I think the moral of the tale is don't try too hard. Try hard, but don't overdo things, because I think we all have a tendency to do that, don't we? And I certainly do. Can overdo, overcook things, and the trick is just knowing when to stop. So again, I might just, now what was I going to do with the hands? I think the hands were going to be possibly bluish. Yeah, I might do it like bluish. So let's have a look. Almost like a metal colour with the hands. Again, it could be metal. You could have like kind of like chainmail. Could be like that, like chainmail gloves, something like that. And maybe just darken that around there. But yeah, very, very happy how this turned out. Good stuff, excellent. And then we've got his satchel here, and that's going to be, of course, leather. So we'll mix up a nice brown leathery colour. And again, just like before, I'm just going to have this as a wash, like that. Could always add a bit of darker brown, that's fine, but I want to just try and keep it so you see all that penwork going through. So far so good. We've got the bottom of the coat. So what's this going to be? It's going to be sort of leathery, metal, bluey. Basically, it's the same kind of theme, bluey and browny and bronzy. So at the bottom there, we're going to have something like this going on. I've not decided what. I'll probably have this as. So the idea is this medieval Ghostbuster is using the materials of the day. So you've got this Cooper's cask, which has probably got something alchemical going on in there. This pipe, and apologies for vegetarians, it was going to be something like almost like pig's intestines or something or other. I was thinking like dried out, but like turned into like a vacuum tube, and then this was going to be like a blacksmith bellows, and with something. I don't know. I've not thought that far ahead with it, but there's magic involved. There's alchemy involved. That's the main thing. So with this here, it could be like a with the pipe. It's certainly not going to be metal, so it's going to be something like a kind of nondescript colour. You could probably say that. Not really flesh, more nondescript. But I want to leave just a little bit of the edges there in the white, so you're kind of getting like almost like highlights or like a reflection going on from the environment. And then we've got this part here underneath. And again, just a bit of lightening up. All right, looking good, looking good. All right, happy with this so far. I might just work into that a little bit. Fabulous. Right, and then the trousers. I was thinking like bright orange, a bit like a brighter orange for this, for these. So again, I'm just going to add some water to that. Given that this is kind of like medieval in tone. Oh, I did put like a little codpiece there as well, which they had. I could make that something like red or something with that, I don't know. But I don't know why they had cod. Oh, I think I do know why. I think they had cod pieces. Didn't they keep like money in them or something, whatever? I might, someone in the comments might be able to correct me on that, but I'm sure it was like a fashion of the day, but I'm sure it was something like that. But they're almost like, if you do like, you know, like martial arts or boxing, you'll know that that's like, you know, groin guards. So anyway, I'll make that red. So again, if you're new here, folks, welcome. Thank you for watching. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And watch out for further live streams and shorts. Okay, and then the bottom, could have those as sort of red. Yeah, something like that. Like it. Yep, yep. That's all looking good. And then these are going to be more like sort of stockings. So maybe they're like could be grey or off-white. Let's try off-white. Could be off-white, maybe a little bit darker, a bit more grey. Grey on that one as well. And then, just like before, I'm going to water this down just so you can see the line work coming through. But yeah, it isn't usual that I say how happy I am with when I'm doing this sort of, because you don't know where it's going to go. But I've been blessed, I guess, for this stream. This is actually going exactly how I want it to go with the watercolors. I think what I've perhaps done in the past is you can get a bit giddy sometimes. You can draw something, ink it, and then start painting it, which is generally not a good idea because you start running out of juice and then you start making mistakes and it all goes peak tongue. So it's always best to, I mean, it's things like in life, isn't it? It's always best to do something, then walk away, then go back to it with like a fresh pair of eyes and then work into it. And that could literally be anything. In my experience, of course. Right. Yep. Happy, happy, happy. All right. And then he's got his winkle pickers. And they're going to be leather. So I'm going to do those again as a kind of brownish colour. And that's all going to be leather. Something like that. Love it. Excellent. Right. Well, thank you God, it worked out. Okay. And then just a bit on the ground. It's probably going to be more like, the ground's going to be fairly neutral, like grey, maybe even a dark grey. But again, I'm just going to put a bit of make it a lot less opaque, a bit more watered down, just so you can see the ink work. All in all, I'm très happy with the end results. So we will have, getting 2 for the price of 1 here. We're going to, well, we'll see how we get on. But that's pretty much the illustration, the painting of the illustration finished on that. I'm really happy with that, but you're going to get 2 for the price of 1 because I'm going to start on the other one now. I'll just show you a close. I'll just show you a close up. I've just lost a pen. I'll show you a close up of it so you can see it in a bit more detail. But I hope you will agree that's worked out rather well with the paint. Well, I'm happy with it. But I think that's pretty cool. All right. So this is the next character. So she's this kind of like cyber queen character. I'm not sure what the idea was here. She's kind of got this like almost like a V8 engine sat on her head. And yeah, I was thinking, don't know, could be like, yeah, it could be like, again, probably more ancient techno type character. Now I was thinking, again, with this, there's going to be metal, so I'm going to use that blue again for this. Flesh tone. I'm not sure about her. I'll have to have a think about her clothing, but let's just make a start. So, without further ado, I'm going to have a look at this, what looks to be like an engine on her head. So, oops, banging the camera again. I've got my, I'll tell you what, let me take my cap off. There we go, that's better. And again, I keep forgetting to drink my tea. There we are. Good, hydrated. So yeah, so this is going to be like, essentially like metal. And generally, from a sort of almost like a comic book point of view, metal is generally shown as like blue, like steel. And you can add things to it. You can add like a patina to it, but I'm going to keep this relatively, I'm going to leave that on. These are like rings, and that could be like possibly leather or something or other. I don't know. Okay. Something like that. And again, the idea is just to kind of keep the paint really subtle. What did I say with that? It's going to be like leather. Something like that. What am I? I'm going off topic there. Right. Then we've got skin tone. So I'm figuring if she's going to be like a queen, this kind of cyber queen, she's going to have like very, almost like Queen Elizabeth, very, very pale skin. Okay, not looking too bad so far. Now, the garment. Well, what could it be? Red tends to be a sort of royal colour. So I'm thinking we could try red or purple even. I don't know. Purple? Could purple work? It might, oops, it might dull it a little bit. I think red's a little bit more. Let's try a bit of red. Red's got a bit more drama, hasn't it? Put a bit of yellow in there. But generally speaking, I think red is kind of royal. And if I did it purple, it might dull it. I quite like that. And you got red and blue as well. You got that contrast, and then I think that could work actually. Let's go with that. Sometimes it's best not to overthink stuff like this. You've got to kind of leap in really, and then see where you get on. But again, I think if I do say so myself, I think this has turned out rather well again. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay. Just a little bit of orange in there. Well, for those of you watching, thank you for staying with us. And what time we are? Yeah, so we'll be looking to sort of wrap up in the say next 10, 15 minutes, something like that. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it. I think it's always a little bit. I'm always a little bit nervous when I'm painting because I'm planning on doing things with this sketchbook. So there's always a little bit of a gamble with when you're doing stuff live. But I've been very lucky for this to kind of generally work out tonight, and I think I've definitely found my groove. Again, partly it's getting lovely comments as well, like all the people at the beginning of the stream. Lovely, lovely comments, and lovely viewers like yourselves as well. It's always encouraging. Okay. I thought I'd just add a bit of a highlight. Just a bit of a highlight. something like that. I think it just, again, particularly like with the metal, just gives it a little bit more dimension. So like a light source kind of coming over from there. I'm not sure where it is, but it's just from that direction. All right. So I'm thinking this could be fabric or it could be leather. We could try leather straps. That might be more fitting. Almost like a belt. And these, so we've got this kind of garment thing. Now these rings should be something like gold. So I'm just going to paint in with a bit of yellow. And then if it picks it up, I'm just going to add just like a nice highlight. Not too much. Just so it kind of makes it look a bit more metallic-y. If that is indeed a word, metallic-y, but it'll work for our purposes. Right, and could this be, so I don't want to overdo it too much. Could that be gold? Like a gold, could be like I could try it. It's like a sort of gold necklace type thing. And again, like before, I could just add some highlights to that. Again, I don't want to go too overboard. Something like that. I think that'll do that. And then the rest really is, mind you, I'm just thinking about those. I quite like that highlight there. I don't want to just wrap up just yet. I'm just going to add don't want to go too overboard, but just a few highlights on her, whatever it is, this cyber crown thing that she's got on her head. These are just kind of like reflections, picking up, you know, whatever. Something like that. Possibly a little bit over here, but again, I just want to be really careful because Because the possibility is going a little bit too overboard. It's better to kind of understate things sometimes. All right. Welcome to Olympus. Oh, this art is fire. Thank you. Welcome to Olympus. And it's great to have you here. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, we're not far from the end now. I'll show you just if you stick around, I'll show you the other characters I've just done and some of the other sketchbook as well. And if you like it, be sure to like where you've already commented and subscribe. Right, so all that's left really is just the bottom part of her torso. So we'll just do that. But I'm not usually this self-congratulatory, but I'm very happy how it's turned out. Painting live, particularly in the, because I've got plans with this sketchbook. As I said before, it's a bit of just a little bit of a gamble, but then you get your best. You get lovely people like your good selves, as I mentioned before, watching, and it does change things. If I was doing this myself without anyone watching, I'd probably make different choices, but the choices that I'm making are actually really good, and part of it is to do with you viewing. I reckon it's something like, and forgive me if I'm getting a little bit esoteric here, it's like the double slit experiment. If you don't know what the double slit experiment is, go look it up. But the main premise is all particles in the universe know when they're being viewed. And I'm not saying that I'm a particle. I'm just saying that when you watch something, I think you change it. But I know that might sound a bit woo, but I think there's definitely something in that. Anyway, right, so enough of my ramblings. Let's do the arms. Which, again, it's just like a really basic wash. Nothing really to... And I've made it sort of quite pale, mainly because, she's like a queen. So like Queen Elizabeth the First. They used to, I think as far as I remember, what they used to do was they used to use a paint that had lead in it. And as you may know, lead is extremely toxic. And then paint themselves with it. And I think they go mad because lead, exposure to lead can actually be quite hazardous to your brain. So I think a lot of people probably went a bit bonkers. Right. I'm happy to, I think, draw at least this part to a close. Might add a bit of red to that maybe. Just so it's not totally brown. And then what I'll do is, as usual, well, maybe you may or may not be familiar, but for the people who are the regulars, what I usually do is just a little trip through the sketchbook just to show you the other illustrations and, hopefully pique your interest and get you to subscribe. So I think that turned out pretty good myself, if I do say so myself. I think that might just darken. Maybe just incy wincy bit darken around her eyes. And then we'll begin to wrap things up. There we go, I think. Yeah, I like that. I could keep going with this, but I'm not going to. I want to try and keep it minimal. Because one of the things that I can do, I have a tendency to do this, I'm sure we all do as well, is work too much into things and then you end up spoiling them. And I'm not going to spoil this. I'm very happy with this. Liked how it turned out. Right, enough of that. Let's show you then. Let's turn this music down. There we go. Right, so the finished item, as you can see there. I think she turned out rather well, the Cyber Queen. And one of my favourite parts actually is just like the this bit I did with the fabric. I really liked how that turned out. It's a bit of an odd thing to kind of fixate on, but I think that turned out rather well. And then we have our medieval Ghostbuster character as well. I think he turned out rather well. I'm really happy I did this stream tonight because it's prompted me into getting this painted. And like I say, it's an interactive thing. I think you've helped to make this happen as well. And I'm always eternally grateful. And of course, lovely comments, beautiful people. So let's wrap this up. Let's land the plane, as they say, and just show you some of the other stuff from the sketchbook. So obviously I'm just going to be mindful about that there. Let's go back to this morning. So this is a one I just did this morning. Let me just zoom out a little bit, perhaps. Can we zoom out? There we go. So this is one that I did this morning, just doing some faces. I did like a time lapse of it, which you'll find on the channel. It's called Monday Faces. And then we have Sunday Faces. And I did those on Sunday, oddly enough. And I thought they turned out rather well. And then these, somehow I did upside down. I don't know, I was probably a bit tired. Again, this is, I really like this one. This kind of, it's just called Into Battle. And I think that turned out rather well. I really like the bull. I think I love the bull's face. I think it looks great. But yeah, the character's good as well. And then we've got like a World War I mech character, alternate universe. I thought it turned out really well. And then some other stuff. Victorian factory worker with mech arms. Again, I'll probably paint this at some point. And a few others, and then we'll wrap it up. Little gentle giant, some woman touching a gentle giant's nose. Some guy wakes up in the middle of the night. It's called When Things Go Bump in the Night. Sometimes when things go bump in the night, you don't really want to, you know, it's probably best to stay in bed, isn't it? Because you might meet a creature like that. And let's have a look further. These ones you've just seen. I did those some weeks ago. I'm really glad I painted these. Really, really glad. So thank you for all your encouragement, folks. I'm really, really grateful. Yeah, I think I'll have to kind of do it like this again, where I've inked stuff in and then paint it. It just seems to work out. These have got to be now two of my favourite pieces in my sketchbook, and I've got a lot in the sketchbook. So yeah, I've got that one there as well, called Defender. This one is inspired by Alien. I've got this kind of cyberpunk, medieval cyberpunk character. Some guy like from a futuristic western. This one is inspired by Dan, MTBD Dan. MTB Dan. It was a pirate ship being attacked by a giant sea monster, quite like that. I'll paint that at all at some point. And that's it. This one I've still got to finish painting. And another character here, Mad Max type character. Gandalf type character, and a giant's graveyard. Okay, so that being said, I think I'm going to wrap this up for tonight. All that's left to say is thank you to all you wonderful people who've joined me, at least in part or all the way with the live stream. It's been lovely having you on board. And thank you so much for the encouragement as well. It's really appreciated. You'd be surprised. It really boosts your creativity when you've got people saying really nice things. It's amazing what effect it has on you. So really good. And I think we'll end it on that image there. So all I'm going to say, folks, is have a lovely evening or night or morning or afternoon, wherever you are, and hope to catch you in the next live stream. Hopefully tomorrow. We'll see, on Wednesday. There we are, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and I shall catch you in the next one. Okay, take care. Bye for now.